everyone, thank you so much for visiting our website. Hope this time on our website will be worth your time. Today I'm going to be baking moist banana bread. Very good, very easy recipe. So please enjoy it with me. I always listen to music, as you can hear, when I'm cooking, baking or cleaning. That's what I like to do, and it makes me much happier. So you always hear some music in the background. What I like to do, there'll be always recipe on the side of the video when I'm going to be posting it on a website. So it's always good to print a recipe to have it. I always print a recipe so I follow all the instructions and know that I have all the ingredients. Now I'm going to go over all the ingredients that we need for the banana bread. We're going to have 1.5 cups of flour. Remember always to sift the flour before you put it in the mix. It makes the mix much more fluffier, and there is no particles that are thicker that you can feel later in a cake. So sifting, just regular sifter, and just sift it through it. You can do it very slowly so you don't create too much dust. Today is a perfect day to make a banana bread. It's pouring in Chicago. Very good time to just sit down and have a cup of coffee and eat banana bread. Alright, we got that one ready. On this plate I have half a teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's what I'm going to need. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in the flour and mix it together a little bit so it blends with the flour. So in this bowl I have a sifted flour, baking soda and baking powder. I'm going to put it on the side for a moment. Here I have a half a cup of sugar. And this banana bread is not very sweet, so if you prefer and like to have a sweeter cake, you can put a little bit, maybe half more cup of, so it will be altogether 1 cup of sugar. But half a cup for me, I'm not a big fan of very sweet cakes, so half a cup is plenty for me. Alright, in this container I have half a cup of oil, and what I'm going to add to it, what's the main ingredient here, very good ingredient, makes the banana bread very moist, is orange juice. So I'm going to add orange juice to oil. So I'm going to have 1 cup, half a cup of oil and half a cup of orange juice. So this is ready as well. 1 egg and up to 2 or 3 bananas, a little bit softer ones, a little bit more ripe. First step, I'm going to crack the egg, put the egg here to the bowl. And I'm going to mix it with a mixer to make it more fluffy. A minute or 2 is enough. It doesn't, you don't have to do it for too long. Now I'm going to peel the bananas, and I'm going to put the bananas in the egg. In a beat up egg that we just mixed here. Make sure you remove if there's any black end, remove it before you put it in a cake or in a mix. Because it's not a cake yet, it's still a mix. And I'm going to blend it all together until the bananas are completely smooth. And you can start on a lower setting, because sometimes it likes to splash all around, so lower setting is good at the beginning. And once you got them smooshed a little bit more, then you can turn on the higher setting on the mixer. very nice and smooth. Mixer on the side for now. Alright, what I'm going to add right now is sugar, and I'm going to continue mixing the sugar for around 2-3 minutes until it's all blended in the mix. And now I'm going to add half a cup of orange juice and half a cup of oil to the mix. Already smells amazing. Now the flour, and what I recommend for when you put flour in the mix, you use the mixer on the lowest setting not to disturb the mix, so it's still fluffy. You can also do it with a wood spoon. It's always good to use a wood spoon when you bake. That's what my mom was always telling me. It's less chance it's gonna interact with the ingredients in the cake. Metal spoons sometimes can be tricky especially when you bake very sensitive recipes, because there are sensitive cakes that you have to be very particular to what you use. So I'm going to mix that flour a little bit put that flour in the mix. And very slowly with our circular moves, blend it in. If you want to use a mixer, it's fine, but as I said, I'm on a very low setting, so I'm going to use it, but now I just wanted to use the spoon to blend it in a little bit, so then it creates less dust. So every recipe where I can, I like to add nuts, especially walnuts. They just give extra taste to the cake, and I just like them there. So I'm going to just chop them into smaller pieces. In a store you can either buy the bigger pieces, not like walnut pieces, or you can buy already chopped, like you can see here. Also, for extra flavors, if you like vanilla flavor or orange flavor or almond flavor, you can add a couple drops. It's fine, it always gives an extra nice smell to the cake and taste, so you can do that as well. I'm gonna add nuts to that mix. And mix it with a spoon a little bit. Very slowly. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to use baking pan, the bread baking pan. This one is a non-stick one. If you don't have the non-stick baking pan, what you can do is to cut a piece of wax paper that fits exactly on the bottom, and then take a wax paper, a little bit piece of wax paper, take a little butter and spread it all over the place, and that's going to prevent the cake from sticking to the pan, so you can easily take it out. Since this is a non-stick, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to pour the mix in the baking pan. And always remember, before you even start mixing everything, preheat oven. And we're going to preheat it today till 350 degrees. And you're going to be baking that cake around 40 minutes. I always say around, because the best thing to do is after around 35 minutes, you can open the oven and check the cake by, I'm going to show you how to check it later on. You just pull it out and have always a skewer or a toothpick, and you just poke the cake a little bit, especially in the middle. If a mix sticks to the wood stick, it means that the cake needs a little bit more time in the oven. If it doesn't stick, if it's dry, it means the cake is ready. So I always say around 40 minutes of baking time. It all depends too if you have electric oven, if you have a gas oven. Every oven bakes differently, so it's really hard to just stick to a certain time. You have to make sure you use your judgment as well. But I'm going to show you how the cake looks and how to check it and how it should look. So it's all set. I'm going to put it in the oven and show you later a final result. So thank you, and you'll see me soon. All right, I pulled out the cake a little bit earlier, so it's like still like around 35 minutes. I'm going to put the skewer in. And it's still, you can see in the middle, it's not done. So until that middle is done, then it's ready. So I'm gonna put it back in the oven. All right, this is the final product. I added around 10 more minutes to the baking time. I was checking with a skewer and I could still see some of the cake sticking to the skewer. So I baked it a little bit longer, but it looks right now that it's ready. If you have just a little bit, if it sticks just a tiny bit, that's probably bananas. But if it's the whole skewer is covered with mix, then it means that it needs more time. But this one looks perfectly good. So that's the product. Enjoy, bon appetit!